Well, a huge welcome to Jessica and Glen. I am so excited to have you guys here because you're my kind of people. Both of you are what I would say Atreveteers, if there is such a word. You literally dare yourselves, you grab life by the balls, same way that I do, and in a very specific way. Now, what this interview is all about, we're going to be about 30 minutes, and it's all about the mind-body connection and how, when it comes together, you can really kick ass and, to use my favorite phrase, grab life by the balls. So I want to hear from you guys how you two got together, where it all came from. I mean, Glen, I've known for a while. We did a mastermind group together with the lovely Johnny Cooper, and Jessica kind of came up on my radar because she is a twice, not just once, but a twice English kickboxing champion. And in my younger days, many moons ago, I used to do karate. So when I saw kickboxing, I was like, ooh. So first of all, tell me more about your championships, Jessica, and how you got into kickboxing and what it's done for you. And obviously you've got to have a really positive mindset to become a champion. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, that is the key, having a positive mindset. So when I began, I didn't have that, and that is what I was lacking. And that it was changing my mindset that led me to kickboxing success. So I had a lot of fights in the beginning that I lost. They were tough. I think I had just over 5 losses in a row. So I was hardworking, I was dedicated, resilient, all these words that come up. I was all of that, but I lacked the self-belief. I remember panicking in fights, thinking, I'm losing, I'm not fit enough. And if you're screaming that at yourself, what do? That's what you believe. So I don't actually know what caused the change in my mindset, but something did. And when I got offered my first title fight, I was in the process of writing my business plan. And I was at this point in my life where I really had to just grab life by the balls, as you would say. I was umming and ahhing. Do I want to continue working in the pub? I'd never even contemplated giving up kickboxing, but where am I going with this? What am I doing as a coach? What am I doing as a fighter? Title opportunity came up, and I said to my coach, will I be fit enough? And he was like, yes, Jess. Anyone else, I wouldn't be sure, but you 100%, you keep yourself in good shape. Let's go do it. Let's go bring home that title. So on short notice, 3 weeks, I dropped 3 kilos, got myself the fittest I'd ever been, and we went up to Birmingham, and the fight just, what all sporting people class as being in a state of flow. I went out there, I walked out to my favourite song, because I always said, jokingly, if I ever get a title fight, I'm walking out to the Lion King. I just can't wait to be king. And I did. And the whole crowd roared. I walked out confident, and I just knew. I knew I am going to become a champion tonight, and I am going to go home and I'm going to start my business, and I am Fighting Fit was born.
Fantastic. I absolutely love that story, and it's so true, because the people who get the furthest are not necessarily the most talented at all. It's the people with the right mindset. And I know that, Glen, you know a lot about this because you have a background in hypnotherapy, and I know that you've helped me with a couple of things, and you just like do it so easily. So tell us how the mind works. How did you get into it? What did you discover? And why is the mind so important, Glen?
So I first got into this sort of thing to help myself. I suffered really badly with anxiety, but I didn't know I suffered with anxiety. I told myself I was a coward, and that's how I lived, with this thing in the back of my mind. I am a coward. I am afraid all the time. And that was that. And that went on for years. I was eventually diagnosed with anxiety and depression in my late teens. But this had sort of been my life's experience. And so I was desperate to change that. And so I started reading up on different types of self-help. And weirdly enough, the first thing that I ever discovered that struck me off all of it, it took me years to get to all of that. Just listen to the singer in the background. That was brilliant.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Jessica's Wi-Fi at home went down and she's had to decamp to the pub.
It makes such a good, nice little soundtrack. It's brilliant. So, getting back to it, I discovered Paul McKenna's book, I Can Change Your Life in 7 Days.
That's an awesome book, isn't it? I've got that.
It absolutely shocked me because I thought, first of all, it's a ridiculous claim. Second of all, like, this is that mumbo jumbo guy from the TV. He used to do that stage hypnosis garbage. And so I cover to cover, did the exercises. I used the recording every day. And then I discovered the book that would totally change my life. I discovered NLP for Dummies, which is the best book to help yourself in the entire universe. You could go to a different planet, you won't find a better one. And so I got obsessed with NLP. However, despite the fact that I'd used Paul McKenna at the start of this journey, I still didn't believe in hypnosis itself. I thought it was garbage. And so did the NLP for years. And I was working in a prison at the time. I was going through various ranks of management, sort of ascended my way up. Not all the way at the top, but got quite far. And along the way, a lot of people were coming to me asking for help and advice. And I found myself, rather than just giving them straight life advice, I was sharing a lot of techniques with them. Take these away, use them, they'll help you. And they were. People come back saying, thank you so much. That one gift, it's changed everything for me. And so eventually, I'm online just scrolling through, just reading up on NLP. I'm reading up on the origins of NLP, and it says a lot of NLP is taken from hypnosis. I reread that. A lot of NLP is taken from hypnosis. I reread that. A lot of NLP, well, that can't be right, because hypnosis is garbage. It's not true. It's not a real thing. So in order to prove myself right, I did a bit of a cheap online hypnotherapy course. And then when I started actually practicing a little bit, I was literally just like reading the script to my wife and my daughter and seeing what reaction it had in them. And then what I started doing was recording them and listening to them myself. And I'm like, oh crud, these are working. Something's going on here. So I had to change my mindset on that one straight away. And then I eventually did a proper practitioner's diploma. And the whole time, I'm not even planning on becoming a hypnotherapist or coach at this point. It's just for interest. And then I was kind of in a point where I knew I was about to transition careers, because I'd made a decision that when my daughter went to secondary school, I was going to be at home more. I wasn't going to work my 60-hour weeks in the prison. I was going to be at home. And I didn't know how I was going to do that. I thought maybe get a night job in a factory or something. And I'm now, at this point, I'm actually qualified as a hypnotherapist, and it still hasn't hit me that I could just do this for a living. And it was when I was doing a little bit on the side now, rather than doing overtime from work. And it kind of struck me, wait a second, I'm making money doing this now, and I'm really helping people. I'd had a dream my whole life to help people. I used to watch films like Analyze This, or even when I watched the TV show The Sopranos, and I would sit there and think, I wish I could be some sort of psychotherapist, but I can't. It's too late. I'm too old, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's another pattern, isn't it?
Exactly. You can see all the way along there the amount of different fixed mindsets that I'm displaying. And like, the most important thing about mindset is it being open. And we're talking about how the mind works. Neuroscience is only just in the last sort of 20 years really caught up on probably what Eastern told us.
Yeah, just for those people who are not familiar with NLP, Glenn, just tell us what it stands for and what it is.
So NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and it is how you use the pictures and words in your mind to change how you feel about things, to change where your mind's going with things, to change your focus. So I've actually heard it also referred to as self-hypnosis or waking hypnosis, which is quite, it works in a similar way to hypnosis. It's all about, like, the pictures you make in your mind are incredibly powerful.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah. Think back to before human beings could even speak, before we had language, we thought in pictures. So that's in us, that's innate. So the pictures we make can change how we feel about things. The words that we allow to exist in our minds. Now, people think thoughts just happen to us. People think feelings just happen to us. But in reality, our feelings are based on the thoughts we think most consistently. And the thoughts we think most consistently are based on our conscious thoughts becoming habitual thoughts. So whatever your current experience of life is now, you've got the power to change it by changing the thoughts and the pictures. Like, as I mentioned neuroscience earlier, that sort of caught up with what Eastern philosophy told us like 2,000 years ago, in that, like, the emotions aren't like these thumbprints of things. It's not like this is anger and this is exactly what it looks like. We're always in a fluid emotional state. Sort of baseline, up here above it, positive emotions, below it, negative emotions. So up here you've got happy, you've got, you know, joy, you've got sharing, all that stuff. Down here you got sadness, negativity, feeling closed off. And what creates the balance in those emotions is the thoughts that we think, more than absolutely anything. If we learn what we're doing up here, I think, deliberately think, creating the words and pictures in our mind that we want to serve us, that work for us, we can literally choose how we feel in pretty much any given moment.
And that's pretty amazing and powerful. And what's really interesting is I love the way that you two got together, because this is a real mind-body connection, because it's almost like, what, you know, the chicken and egg situation, isn't it? And Jessica, when you were just talking about your championship, this was a really good example of what Glen's talking about in action, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And it's really interesting what Glen said about the hypnosis, because that's not a real thing. That's exactly what I have been experiencing in my own mind. And my friend is a magician and stage hypnosis to a degree. And he signed up and he encouraged me to. He was like, just give it a go. You've got nothing to lose. And I was like, no, I want to go do NLP. NLP is more what I believe to be the tool that I would rather use as a coach. And long story short, I signed up for the hypnosis, and I've experienced it myself with Glen now too. We've worked one-on-one, and the program I take part in his mindset half, and I am noticing the experience of improving my own mindset. And it's real. It's that battling in my own head about, well, no, I don't actually think hypnosis works, but I felt it does work.
And it's really funny because one of the things that you've just said, Glen, is about this fluidity. And one of the things that I've noticed is that you can have really positive thoughts, experiences, and mindset in some situations, and not in others. I became qualified in NLP and a coach nearly 20 years ago now. And that's a scary thought. It's that long ago. And therefore, I'd done a lot of work on myself and reached a really good state of being able to put myself in a positive state, mindset, and all the rest of it. Except for I had an extreme fear of heights. And it's really funny because I couldn't do that. I couldn't work on that by myself. It only took me 2 sessions with somebody to unlock what I needed to do to continue the work on my own. And of course, there was the driving, motivating factor that I wanted to go to Machu Picchu and do the Inca Trail. And until then, I hadn't had a good enough reason, you know. So you can be really supremely confident in many areas, but if there's one area that's holding you back, then I encourage you to reach out to these guys, you know, talk to me, talk to Jessica, talk to Glen, because, you know, that can be unlocked and it can be eliminated. And the other thing that I love about the way that you two have got together is this mind-body connection, because in order to have a healthy mind, you've also got to have a healthy body. Because when we all know, when we've been a couch potato for too long and our body feels crap, we don't have clarity. We don't have the mental powers when our body is, you know. So tell us more about how important the body is, Jessica, and your way of helping people to get fit, because there's a million different ways of getting fit. Most of them are as boring as hell. Your way is an awful lot more fun, isn't it?
Yes, and that is my mission, is to get people who hate exercising. So not just because they feel they should, like 99% of women come to me wanting to lose weight and get fit, but the actual benefit of kickboxing is it's not just exercise. There's no pressure to perform in a certain way, achieve a certain goal, but it is a skill. It is a way of developing your confidence alongside your physical ability.
Yeah.
And it also uses all forms of cognitive function, like it improves your balance, your coordination, as well as your cardiovascular health.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it's the ultimate form of exercise, along with dance as well. That's another one. I know yourself, you love dance.
Yes.
So, and that's another thing that I eventually want to go into, is learning to dance. Because
you love it.
Self-limiting beliefs. I've always believed that I can't dance and I have no rhythm. But if I can kickbox, I can dance.
Absolutely.
But anyway, so it's just in my mind, it's the ideal way to work out without feeling like you're having to work out. It's fun. It's a fun way to get fit, and that is important. If you want to create a habit, you want to get that routine to long-term improve your health and well-being, make it enjoyable, and then you want to do it. And then you stick at it. If you go and follow one of these online programs to lose 10 pounds in 10 weeks and you just feel like, oh, I hate this, I don't want to do that today, you won't stick to it.
You won't.
To find something fun. And it doesn't have to be kickboxing. Kickboxing is the thing that I provide. And there are many people out there that benefit from it. I 100% understand if someone wants to do something else. But I do recommend they at least give it a go, because it can be seen as intimidating, aggressive, and people talk themselves out of it. I did. I wanted to start when I was 15, and I didn't begin until I was 19. So I spent 4 years going, oh, I can't kickbox. I'm not fit enough. I'm not aggressive. I don't want to fight. All of these things. And I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to fight for the first 3 years. And I just a little part of me that decided to give it a go eventually.
Yeah. And look at, and the other thing is that there's this sort of incorrect assumption, as you said, that it's aggressive, it's manly, and you just got to look at you to know that it's not. You know, you're feminine, you're fun, you're amazing, and you know you. But what I love about it is there's a lot of people out there who want to be badass. You know, it's a real. This is an amazing way of really becoming badass. And I'd also like to talk about another thing which is super important. And you mentioned confidence. Now, in this world, sadly, we need to be able to protect ourselves, you know, a lot more than we ever used to in the past. And I certainly know that once I learned karate, and I mean, this is a long, long while ago now, I got up to brown belt in karate. And I started teaching ladies self-defense. And you know what? Just the way that it gives you confidence to walk down the street will mean that you are not likely to be a victim. Because a lot of the guys who prey on women, they look for victims who will walk in a certain way and who display fear. And just the fact that you're taught how to defend yourself and that you know that you can apply this will give you the confidence to walk tall. And if I'm in a situation where, let's say I'm coming back from, I don't know, a railway station, I'm walking late at night and it's dark. I remember all my stuff I learned. I chuck my shoulders back and I look and I walk kick ass. And I guarantee nobody's going to touch me.
That's the key. It's that that power posing almost, and it's that habit, and in any area of your life. So the area that I want to go into is public speaking, but it's that learning to adapt your body language instead of walking out shoulders rounded, head down. If you're walking down the street, like, no, take me on if you're going, they won't. You've got and
I mean, because I actually applied all of my NLP and training in teaching people to have confidence with public speaking. That was what I really focused on for such a long time, and it's really true. And this actually focuses in with the NLP stuff, Glen, because doesn't it? Because it's all about neuro language, you know, the whole brain stuff and the language, but it's also physiology as well. And when you have that confident physiology, you know, this whole mind-body connection, you feel better. But it's what people pick up on, isn't it?
When I work with people that are suffering with depression, one of the first things I do is to get them to change the physiology, get them to change how it's done. In fact, I quite often do a little exercise with them, whereby I'll get them to stand up straight, maybe even get them to throw the hands up in some sort of power pose, like Superman style, that sort of thing. And then to put a ridiculous, big, stupid grin on their face. And I might get them to tune. And afterwards, I say to them, how do you feel in this exact moment? And they're like, yeah, well, obviously I feel okay at the minute, because I'm like, yeah, so you can do more of that. But like when you're talking about confidence as well, people, whenever anybody's not confident about something, whether they're aware of it or not, what they're doing is they're going over worst case scenarios in the mind. If you want confidence in anything, just go over the best scenarios. Number one, it immediately changes how you feel about it. But number two, the more you go over your best case scenario, the more times you've mentally rehearsed it. The more time you mentally rehearse something, the more likely you are to do it. It's so wonderfully powerful. So when you get your physiology right, start making the right pictures in your mind, you become kind of unstoppable. You feel like you could walk the wall, but you could probably stop and have a cup of tea first. You chill. That's exactly right.
And do you know what? This is one of the things I love is that once you learn this, most people want to learn this for a particular reason and a particular segment of their life. So it might be that they want to overcome the fear of public speaking so that they can get on stage and talk about their business or whatever. It might be that they need to stand up to their bosses at work. It might be that they are always being I don't know, intimidated by their in-laws, or it doesn't matter. But so people usually reach out for a particular reason. But once you learn this stuff, you can apply it anywhere. And you know, as you say, Glenn, it's the simplest things. I went river canyoning recently and had an amazing time. It was such good fun. But there was a girl there. She did basically it was a rappel down a waterfall, an abseil down a waterfall, and she was so terrified, and she kept all of this to herself. And this also frustrates me, because people say that in order to overcome a fear, you just got to do it. No, why? Yes, that works for some people, but it's got to be the most difficult way there is of overcoming something. It's just like throwing yourself into it with no techniques to help you, no preparation, just trying to force it. But anyway, she tried to do that. She just tried to force it. And by the time she got to the bottom of this abseil, she looked like she was about to throw up. She was like bent over double, you know, hands on her knees, white as a sheet, shaking, crying. So I just went over and I said, all right, I want you to do something for me. I just want you to stand up. And like, you know, she didn't know me from Adam. It was a bit like, who the hell are you, you know? But so she stood up, and the same kind of thing as you. I said, right, now shoulders back, you know, breathe. Because the thing is, what people don't know is that once you lean over, you cut your diaphragm off. You can't get the oxygen in. So sometimes it's something just as stupid and mechanical as that, you know? And then I kind of did a bit of visualization to her, and then I got her to shout out for Andrea, I am a effing warrior. And that made her laugh. And, you know, and I said, I know it sounds stupid, but just say it. I am a, and what I didn't abbreviate the swear word. It was full on. And that breaks the pattern, you know, because oftentimes people see me and just think that I'm a, you know, kind of like sort of, I don't know, I wouldn't say well-behaved old woman, but I don't look like somebody who'd swear like a trooper, you know? And it just broke the pattern and made her laugh. And I said, right, next rappel we come to, stand up and go, I am an effing warrior. And I gave her some other techniques as well. And at the end of it, she came over and said, oh my God, you helped me so much. I said, right, now, any situation you find yourself in, you can use that. Doesn't matter where. Once you learn it in one place, you can take it anywhere, can't you? And I love the fact that it's such a big part of our lives. Confidence, mindset, physicality, posture, it just essential.
Yeah, absolutely essential. As you've mentioned it a few times, the whole mind-body connection thing. And that's why the kickboxing and mindset program that Jess and I have. Powerful.
I was just about to ask you, tell us more about it, because it's awesome. It's just perfect match, marriage made in heaven.
So, like, I'll talk about the mind-body connection and how they work in this, and then Jess can talk a bit more about the program itself, because she talks so eloquently about it, and I kind of monologue. So,
is that a belief?
You know, that's one of the things about mindset. And I've known loads of great mindset coaches, great hypnotists, great hypnotherapists, people that know loads about mindset. And I've heard them tell me, yeah, I don't need any work on my mindset. My mindset's spot on. It's perfect. That doesn't
we
exist.
all do. No, we all do all the time. You know, the number of times I catch myself going, I can't believe I just said that.
That's it. Saying my mindset.
We're human.
That's actually an example of a fixed mindset. So
Yeah.
you can either have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset.
Yeah.
And every area of your life, you'll find places where there are fixed mindsets.
Mm.
And the thing is as well, you know, when you heal something, when you correct something, when you fix something, you don't stop living that day. Your life doesn't freeze. You continue to live and new stuff happens.
Yeah.
So you can get new mindset issues. You can get new traumas.
Yeah.
But when you've got something else to deal with, it's great. And when you've got somebody to work with to deal with, it's great.
Yeah.
But people believing because I did some mindset work one day, I've now got a perfect mindset. That's actually an example of a not perfect mindset right there.
That's a bit like cleaning your house once and thinking you're never going to do it again, isn't it?
Exactly right. Really good analogy. I'm going to start using that.
Yeah,
but
actually, it's like there's a quote by Zig Ziglar that I love, and it's like, they say mindset doesn't last, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I really like Zig Ziglar, actually.
I do, yeah.
The power of the mind-body connection within this is once you've done the kickboxing work, and in fact, the kickboxing work itself starts to hack your mindset, because not only are you working towards getting fit, but you're learning a new skill.
Yeah.
One of the cool things about kickboxing is you do a lot of unilateral movements, like one side of the body moving at a time. Then you move the whole body together. And that actually uses each part of the brain, then brings those parts of the brain together. And those things are great for sort of firing up the neurons, and they make you just that little bit smarter when you're doing them.
Yeah.
And they make growth in the mind much easier. And then, so if you go from that, and also when the body's physically tired, it's easier to do work with the mind too. There's less distraction in there. But also, so you've got that, you've fired up your neurons, your learning neurons in the brain with the kickboxing. You've tired your body out and burnt off some nervous energy. And so now you're ready to do that changing of the mindset work. But there's a cool bridge between it. There's a really cool little bridge that bridges body and mind perfectly. And that's in the breath work. And so what we tend to do at the start of, like in between, after the kickboxing, moving into the mindset, is we'll do some breath work, some deep rhythmic breathing, some timed breathing, some breath meditation. And that does a couple of things. It speaks directly to the central nervous system and says it's put away any of the old like stress or whatever. It's time to focus on something good. But it also creates really good sensations in the body and mind. And it really opens up the body-mind connection. And before you know it, you can almost think directly into your body. And what I mean by that is, when you open the body-mind connection this much, you can kind of choose how you feel that second. And like I say, after something like kickboxing is perfect, because you can't do this 100% of the time. But when you're in that space and the mind is so open, you can create such a powerful mindset. It's unreal. And the way I work is get people, just as like you've just said, Tina, I get people to focus on one area of their life, but I make it clear to them that the skills that they're creating right now can translate into every area of their lives.
Yeah.
By the time somebody's completed this program, not only will they be fitter, not only will they have achieved the fundamentals of kickboxing, and they can carry on with kickboxing from there with a really good base, but also they will have achieved something else, whatever they choose to, in their own lives by the end of the program, by changing how they feel about things.
Cool.
So I'll let Jess tell us really what it's about.
So, I guess I better describe it eloquently, hadn't I? So,
no pressure.
Going back the growth mindset, kickboxing is a perfect example of that. So I'm a second degree black belt as well as a 2 times English kickboxing champion. And before you achieve that black belt status, I think I definitely did, and I think the majority of people think that by the time you're a black belt, you're perfect. You've succeeded. You are good at kickboxing. I let everybody in. I still practice those fundamentals daily. Nothing changes other than the constant progression, remaining consistent. We don't have a trick. We don't have magic that got us successful. We just carried on practicing the fundamentals. So this kickboxing program has been designed with the complete beginner in mind. So I go through all of the fundamental aspects of the kickboxing technique as if somebody knows nothing. But it is suitable for all, and that includes all fitness levels. So I have a lady signed up who says she gets out of breath walking up the stairs. That's fine. She will go at her level. But I get out of breath doing my workouts because I work at a higher intensity, and I am fighting fit. I should be fit enough to do it. But again, it's that growth mindset. You can always push harder. You can always improve your technique. You can always improve your fitness as well as your mindset. So then, as Glen has already said, the two go perfectly together. And I can't explain how he accesses the mind, but I can explain how it feels, what it feels like for me. Having done it, so I do the kickboxing, then I sit down, I regulate my own breathing, and I have felt this state. And he did a very, very good job of making the 2 free webinars different. The first one, I felt amazing. I felt so confident. I felt ready to go out and take on the world, excited to go out and achieve everything I want to achieve. And that feeling lasted at least 2 days. Like, I woke up the next day like, right, what am I doing today? I'm going to go. And then the second one, it was about fear and anxiety and phobias if we had one. But I don't know what I picked. I don't have any phobias as such. But I just felt really calm. It worked. Afterwards, he was like, do you have any questions? Or I was like, no, I'm just calm. I just feel relaxed and peaceful. And so it works. I don't know how he does it, but that getting in that heightened physical state, then regulating down and working, it will be unique for everyone. I don't know what everyone else had to overcome when they did the mindset work, but I experienced it. And I am really, really looking forward to the next 8 weeks and getting to experience that myself. If 2 can have such a positive effect, what is a further 8 going to do? Yeah. So I really, honestly, I just think it's amazing. And obviously this is the beta run through, so we don't have the result yet. But I actually think the result will be beyond what I believe it to be. I think I've got an idea in my mind of, wow, this is going to be incredible. I think it will achieve that and possibly exceed it. I really am excited for it.
Fantastic. So when does it start? How do people sign up for it?
Do you want to explain it, Glen? And I'll mute so the music doesn't interrupt.
The programme starts at 7:30 p.m. this coming Thursday, 3rd of September.
That's 7:30 UK time. So any of my friends watching in Spain, that'll be 8:30 for you guys.
It is worth noting, though, that all sessions are recorded and all participants will receive those sessions within 48 hours of them happening. Therefore, if you can't make a session, or even any of the sessions, you've still got the full benefit, the full program right there in your inbox, and you can do it at your leisure. And there's another reason why this is important too, because the kickboxing especially, but same with the mindset stuff, but the kickboxing, literally, you can practice this as much as you want, get as good as you can get from the webinars that we did and from some other stuff that Jess has shared with me. I've been practicing my kickboxing a lot, and techniques definitely getting there. Now, I should qualify, I have trained loads of times in my life. I've trained kickboxing, karate, Thai boxing, mixed martial arts, but it has been quite a few years since I last trained. But also another point that I just need to make is I've trained with loads of instructors. Most of them really, really good. 1 or 2 of them atrocious. Most of them really good. Jess is genuinely the best one I've ever worked with, because her descriptions, her instructions are just so so precise yet still concise. So she doesn't have to say loads, but you know exactly what she's talking about. And I've always said, I reckon I could follow her technique as a complete beginner without seeing her do it, because she describes it so well. And that's an amazing thing. But in order to sign up anyway, just get in touch with either Jess or myself. They can inbox us. They can check out Jess's group, I Am Fighting Fit. They can check out my group, the Happy Mind Revolution. But if they get in touch, we will send them the link to sign up.
Fantastic. Okay. I will, once the live video is finished, I will put the links to both of your groups in the comments. Actually, I'll probably, last time I tried to edit the live description with this new platform, it wouldn't let me. So if I can't put it in the main description, I'll put it in the comments, a link to both of your groups. So
we do also have 2 free webinars that we will happily give to anybody. The first one is in my group. It's under the units, so people can come, and even if they don't want to get on their feet and do it, because people have this misconception that they might not be doing kickboxing. You are doing kickboxing. You are on your feet getting fit. But I know that that can feel intimidating. So some people feel more comfortable just to have a look at it first. And I've had a couple of people watch it and then do the mindset work, and that helps them overcome that fear before joining the class. So if anybody is keen but not sure, do contact us and we can send you the free webinars to complete in your own time too.
Yeah, but you know what? This is one of the things I love about working online, because some people, the idea of doing something like this in a gym where there's other people watching can be intimidating. But the beauty of this is you're doing it in the privacy of your own home, and it doesn't matter. You know, there's nobody to see when you go and try and swing a kick and fall over. I think it's just amazing. I think what you've put together is absolute genius. So let's hope that, I can't wait to see, the results from some of the people who sign up on your program. So, so if anybody's really wanting to get fit, try out kickboxing as a really great fun way to get fit, and improve their mindset that they can use, and the mindset and the confidence you're going to be able to use absolutely anywhere in any situation. So thank you so much, guys, for coming on. We've gone on a little bit longer than I kind of said, but it was just so interesting. So I'm going to end the recording. So like I said, just anybody who wants to join Jessica and Glen on the program, then just go and check out their groups and give it a whirl and watch the free webinars to start with, and then just jump in. So, okay, let me stop the live streaming.